Yes, my friends, things are heating up in Denver, and we seriously need to talk about everything happening behind the scenes with the Broncos. Training camp is officially here, and honestly, it feels like this team has a completely different energy compared to previous years. A brand new state-of-the-art facility, players already talking about winning, Bo Nix is healthy and ready to go, and the organization looks more confident than ever. But let me ask you something. Do you really believe this could finally be the year the Denver Broncos make a serious run to the Super Bowl? Or do you think it's still too early to get carried away before we've even seen them play? I really want to know which side you're on, so leave your opinion in the comments below. And if you've been a loyal Denver Broncos fan for more than 15 years, smash that like button. If possible, also comment, "Go Broncos! Let's go to the Super Bowl!" Alright, now let's talk about everything that happened on the Broncos' first day of training camp. The wait is finally over because the Denver Broncos have officially reported to training camp for the 2026 season. The first practices are getting underway, with the opening session serving as ramp-up workouts before the first public practice. The intensity will continue to increase quickly, with the first padded practice expected early next week. Every snap from this point forward matters because every player is fighting for a role, every coach is evaluating talent, and every decision starts building the foundation for the regular season. One of the biggest stories isn't even happening on the practice field. The Broncos have officially moved into their brand new training facility, a project worth approximately $175 million that was completed in less than 2 years. Even though some finishing touches are still being completed, the players walked into the building for the very first time, and their reaction said everything. Several players described the facility as completely state-of-the-art. Pat Certain too said it reminded him of the elite college environment he experienced, while Quinn Meinerz couldn't hide his excitement, saying he simply couldn't stop smiling after seeing everything inside. The organization designed the building to maximize every part of the players' daily routine, helping them recover, prepare, and perform at the highest level. Beyond helping the current roster, players believe this facility will become a powerful recruiting tool for future free agents. When players around the league visit Denver and see what has been built, it's easy to imagine them wanting to become part of the organization. The facility embraces Colorado's identity with wood, stone, mountain-inspired architecture, and newly planted aspen trees, creating an environment that reflects both modern technology and the state's natural beauty. Another major storyline centers around outside linebacker Jonathan Cooper. Cooper has been allowed to report to training camp alongside his teammates despite his legal situation still remaining unresolved. At this point, it remains unclear how much he will participate in practices or exactly how the coaching staff plans to handle his situation moving forward. Earlier in the offseason, Cooper was allowed to practice following his first arrest, but after another legal incident, he was not permitted to return during the final week of offseason activities. Now, despite no major resolution in the legal process, the Broncos have welcomed him back to the facility. The coaching staff is expected to provide more clarity regarding that decision as training camp progresses, but for now Cooper is back with the team and his teammates are undoubtedly happy to see him once again. There is also another familiar face returning to the Broncos organization. Michael Willoyd is back. After previously serving as the Broncos' outside linebackers coach in 2023 and 2024, Willoyd is returning as a defensive assistant. He had been widely respected inside the organization before legal issues led to his departure last year. Those charges have since been dropped, and the Broncos now feel comfortable bringing him back after he reportedly spent significant time working on himself. His return gives Denver another experienced football mind on the defensive coaching staff and restores someone who was viewed as a rising coach within Sean Payton's organization. Training camp also brings injury updates, and unfortunately there are both positives and negatives. Jordan Turner begins camp on the non-football injury list, meaning he won't be practicing as camp opens. Turner represents one of the younger depth players the Broncos hope could continue developing behind the established linebackers, so missing valuable practice time certainly isn't ideal. Another difficult update involves offensive lineman Nick Gargiulo. After suffering a serious injury during last year's preseason, he opens training camp on the physically unable to perform list. His recovery continues, and expectations are that it will still take significant time before he's able to return to full football activities. Losing valuable developmental reps this early in camp makes his road back even more challenging. Fortunately, the Broncos also received encouraging news. Bo Nix is fully ready to go. After dealing with concerns surrounding his ankle, Nix is not on either the NFI or PUP list and is expected to participate fully in practice. That is exactly what Broncos fans wanted to hear. Every throw, every rep, every decision he makes during training camp will be closely watched as he continues developing under Sean Payton's system alongside quarterbacks coach Davis Webb. Speaking of good news, left guard Ben Powers continues to earn enormous respect inside the Broncos locker room. During last season, Powers suffered what would normally be season-ending injuries. He dealt with a torn biceps early in the year, returned to action, then suffered a Lisfranc injury during his very first game back. Most players would have been finished for the season after either injury. Instead, Powers continued playing. He didn't miss another snap after the Lisfranc injury. He battled through the remainder of the regular season and both playoff games, demonstrating a level of toughness that teammates continue talking about today. Quinn Meinerz praised Powers by saying he perfectly represents the identity of the Broncos' offensive line. His willingness to keep playing through pain earned tremendous respect throughout the locker room, and now that he's healthy entering this season, Denver hopes that resilience will once again anchor one of the team's most important position groups. Perhaps the biggest takeaway from the opening day of training camp isn't about one specific player. It's about the mindset of the entire football team. Yes, everyone understands the long-term goal. The Broncos believe they have a roster capable of competing for a Super Bowl. But inside the building, players aren't talking about championships every day. Instead, they're focusing on the smaller steps required to eventually reach that goal. Quinn Meinerz pointed to one issue that repeatedly slowed the offense last season: slow starts. He described the offense like a train. Once it got moving, it became incredibly difficult to stop. The problem was getting the train moving early enough in games. Too often, the Broncos spent much of the first half trying to find rhythm before finally exploding offensively in the fourth quarter. This year they want to change that. The offense wants to attack immediately instead of waiting until late in games to build momentum. According to Meinerz, there are already some fresh ideas being incorporated into the offense thanks to Davis Webb and other members of the coaching staff. While the overall offensive system remains familiar, there are enough new wrinkles to create additional excitement entering the season. Pat Surtain, too, emphasized another version of fast starts. His focus isn't just on individual games. He wants the defense to begin the entire season at a high level. Considering the Broncos face a challenging opening schedule, establishing momentum early could become one of the biggest factors determining how successful this season ultimately becomes. When you step back and look at everything happening around this football team, it's easy to understand why excitement continues growing. The organization has invested heavily in its future with one of the NFL's most impressive training facilities. The coaching staff continues adding trusted people. Several key veterans are healthy. Young players have opportunities to earn meaningful roles. Bo Nix enters camp ready to lead the offense. And perhaps most importantly, the locker room believes it has unfinished business. Of course, there are still plenty of questions that only training camp can answer. How quickly will the offense find its rhythm? Will the defense continue performing at an elite level? How will the coaching staff handle the situations surrounding returning players? Which young players will surprise everyone? Those answers will begin revealing themselves over the next several weeks as every practice becomes another opportunity to build toward the regular season. One thing is already clear, though. There's genuine belief in